Hello sports fans, and welcome back to another edition of the Pioneers Weekly Football Preview, where we take a look at the biggest games in high school, college, and professional. Starting things off this week, we're going to start with our high school game of the week, maybe the game of the year, looking at the schedule. 2-3-0 teams in the CSAA, Reed City and Newaygo. Everybody knows the history between these two teams, even though they've only been in the same league for a year now. From last year, Reed City throttles Newaygo at home, and Newaygo returns the favor in the playoffs. So coming into this season, both teams appear to be the two front runners for the conference title again this year. Brandon, give me some of your thoughts on who you think wins this big matchup.
I think this week we're really going to see who separates from whom. Newaygo came in last year in the playoffs and really surprised Reed City. I think it's left a sour taste with them. I think Reed City's going to jump up on them and actually take it to them this Friday.
Now, Bob, what do you think? Do you feel like, because of how the season ended for Reed City last year, that's something that's still on these players' minds? And do you think that gives them any advantage in this matchup? Who do you got winning?
Absolutely. This game has been circled on Reed City's calendar since the schedule came out. And I'm sure they're going to come out with a little more focus, and because there's huge implications, not only conference-wise, but potentially playoff-wise. The winner could be hosting the other. But I don't think that's going to be enough for Reed City. And I'm just going to go strictly on the home field. This is at Newaygo. I'm going to take the Lions in this one.
All right, Greg, you've had a chance to see Reed City a couple times this year. Some of your thoughts on who you have coming out on top?
Kind of just like Bob was saying there, the minute the game got done Friday after they took it to Holton, the first word out of the kid's mouth was, let's go Newaygo. That was, like you said, that's the one that's circled on their calendar after what happened last year. And you got the Newaygo team coming off a 1-point victory over a Lakeview team that gave them trouble last week. So I think it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. It's going to be a lot of points, a lot of physical play on the defensive side of the ball, but I really do think that Reed City, just with the revenge factor, they're going to come out with the victory.
All right, yeah, I hope the scoreboard operator doesn't fall asleep in this one, because there's going to be a lot of points scored, I think. Both teams have proven to be able to put up a lot of points and have struggled a little bit at times holding their opponent defensively. So I think that trend continues. I think Reed City finds a way to get it done. It just seems they have a little bit more of an X factor with Samuels returning at quarterback and a couple of key places on the offense. Is going to allow them to score maybe one more time than Newaygo does in this one. Moving on to the professional ranks now. We're back with the Lions, and I don't know what there is to say after last week. I think we're back into mid-season form a little earlier than normal. Would you agree, Brandon? And talking about this week's matchup against Washington, do you see the Lions rebounding in this game, a place that they haven't won in a very long time?
Last week was kind of a back to the future with the Lions. It was like kissing the hottest girl in school and then realizing she's got mono. You don't really know what to expect, but you're kind of happy and you're kind of sad. In the end, it's the same old Detroit team. Reggie Bush goes out, you're going to see him just go to the pass. And it's going to fail this week against Washington.
All right, Bob, do you see the Lions getting back on track after last week? Kind of the same old that we saw from them. What are some of the factors that are going to play into the Lions getting a big road win here?
Well, for the Lions to get a road win, they need Washington to start slowly like they have had the last 2 weeks. First week against Philadelphia, they were behind quickly. Mm-hmm. Same thing this past week with Green Bay. Detroit's got to come out, take the crowd out of it by getting some points on the board. I don't think it happens this week. I'm picking Washington, and I think this one will be not a blowout, but it's going to be, like a 14-point game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I do think that Washington, they kind of catch Washington at a bad time after a couple of bad performances to start the year. They're back at home. This all kind of spells disaster for a Detroit team that hasn't shown a lot of that mental toughness that you need to win on the road in the NFL. Against a talented Redskins team that hasn't played very well so far this year. I think the Redskins win, and I see them pulling away late in this one after a pretty close game at halftime. Greg, your thoughts on this one?
Just looking at the first 2 weeks of the season here, you've got this game with two defenses that have just been torched, especially in the secondary. Washington's, going against Philly, they really got torched that first week, and then you look at the Lions, you've had the rookie Darius Slade give up big plays. his penalty was the one that set up the 1-yard rushing touchdown for Mendenhall there at the end of the Arizona game. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair, but without Reggie Bush in that lineup, they're, like Brand said, they're right back to the one-dimensional team that they've been. Just chuck it and see what you can get, dink and dunk passing. And as you saw at the end of the Arizona game last week, that didn't do anything. Evident in Nate Burleson's fourth down conversion that they didn't get. So I picked Detroit because I don't know why. I just went with it. But this is if they don't show me something this week, I think we're in for another season, as everybody says, of the same old Lions.
All right, good to have everybody back hating the Lions. If you wanted to check out all of our picks from these week's games, check out Friday's edition of the Pioneer or visit BigRapidsNews.com for all coverage of our local high school football.